Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Earth Science. Today we're going to cover, in Chapter 3, the distinction between intrusive and extrusive igneous rocks. First we'll cover a couple of details, then we'll get into that. And we will do a quiz and then a rock lab where we identify the differences between intrusive and extrusive in class as a lab. Okay, let's talk a little bit about this subject, igneous rocks. We've already understood that there are three categories that we mentioned yesterday regarding three types of rock. One is igneous, one's metamorphic, and one is sedimentary. We are going to focus strictly on igneous today, and we'll cover the remaining topics in further sections. Igneous rock is formed when molten material found either on the surface or deep in the earth cools off and turns into a solid rock. So the word igneous comes from a Latin word, or its root in a sense, ignis, which means fire. You might want to know that. Makes sense when you push the igniter on a barbecuer, for example. Means fire. Okay, magma and lava. Compositionally they're the same. However, their location alters their outcome. Magma is a molten melted rock and found in the Earth's surface. When it reaches the surface, it's called lava. So magma occurs when radioactive elements generate enough thermal energy to melt material, and that is deep into the crust. That's where we get most of our, outside of residual heat, that's where we get all of our molten rock in the mantle. Magma is less dense than the surrounding rock. What do you think that will cause it to do? Float or rise. Okay? To the surrounding crust. And when it punches through, it becomes volcanoes. Beautiful picture here. Okay. When magma cools, the atoms rearrange themselves, forming new mineral crystals. As the different types of minerals form and grow together, igneous rocks are formed. Again, it depends on where it's located. If it's deep within the crust, it will have time to slowly cool off, much like an oven turned off, but the door never opened. It can retain a lot of heat for a long time. That allows for these atoms to rearrange quickly. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a lava rock, generically speaking. More specifically, a vesicular basalt rock formed on the surface. Notice the lack of crystals. We'll get to that. This one is lots of crystals. That's the difference between intrusive and extrusive. So intrusive igneous rocks form below the Earth's surface. And again, you can tell because they have all visible mineral grains. That is the definition you need to understand. It's exposed at the surface. How? By uplift of crustal material, or by weathering and erosion process. Just like if you and your buddy were sitting on an inner tube in your pool or on the lake, and when you push him or her off, your inner tube rebounds above the water, or higher above the water than it was sitting prior to, because you eroded and then it rebounded, creating uplift. Just a funny way of thinking about it. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a pegmatic granite. You can see the very large crystals, and it's all visible, all of it. Okay, don't forget that. We'll reach back to this in further subjects. Now, extrusive igneous rocks form when lava cools near the surface. These types of igneous rocks have very small crystals, if any at all, because they cool off relatively quickly. And because they cool off quickly, the atoms don't have enough time to rearrange themselves and to bond and form large visible crystals. Can, but not often. So extrusive igneous rocks are considered to have what's called a fine-grained texture. Remember that. Excuse me. And this picture is a picture of some snowflake obsidian. Very rare, very fun. Okay, now your job is to grab the igneous rock kits in the classroom. You're going to get into your groups, and you're going to sort these rocks between intrusive and extrusive. After that, you will go down here and you will take this quiz. Okay? Answer all of these and hit submit. Once you're done, we will give a grade, cumulative grade of the quiz. Then I'll come around and with a grade that I will come around and give after you have sorted this lab here. It will be total out of 14. Alright guys, get going.